issues people were having. The buy coming out for FlipSid, they're not going to have any AWPs yet. They did go for the forced buy in the second round. So Envy, they're continuing with the Mac 10s. Knowing the forced buy came in here, they'll have the advantage in the moving accuracy. Bearing in mind, FlipSid only have one helmet on the 4 players. If they get close enough, it will be a one-tap with those Mac 10s there. So Envy have nothing to lose by not upgrading to AKs in that situation.
Working up lane here, already getting some picks, being able to get the bomb planted, and wow, that was pretty quick. Those 3 frags between NBK, Keo, and Happy, and just as soon as they get into the site, the round's pretty much over after those quick 3 frags, and Envy will move on to the 4-0 start. You just see Shara trying to save this M4 and CT spawn. I'm sure Envy will slowly push out and give chase. Happy and Kenny already in position here, but Shara will now move over to Car, so there's a chance that they'll be able to save it, but still pretty dominant victory there for Envy. Not much to say.
Yeah, so Shara's going to be the only person to save anything in this team. Not a good start here for FlipSid in the first map. Again, it was the pick of Envy.
Are going to see that 1-in-4 save from Schrub, but other than that, it'll just be some P250s being on here by FlipSid Tactics. So, of course, they're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Don't seem to be going for anything too crazy. No crazy B-stack this time. Just pretty much setting up in default positions here, while we do see Envy just, you know, going for that apartments control early, something that they've always been pretty much known for, to get as much control as they can first and then just kind of work off of the map positioning. And they will catch some aggression there from bondik and begin to work towards the safe side of the map.
Again, it is an eco round, and we'll have to look. You can see Shara holding down Banana. And, I mean, it's an interesting predicament. Is it worth him going for the save? His team have only got 1 kill at this point, so I do wonder if he will opt for a push, or indeed he's going to go and save his weapon for another day. Well, Markelov can act as the early warning system and also try and pick up a gun for himself.
Hopefully FlipSid Tactics can get something going here soon. I mean, obviously the CT side of this map is where you look to get the bulk of your rounds, and obviously Envy are going to be a tough opponent all the way through and through. So gotta hope that FlipSid can pick up some guns here soon and make something happen. Markelov is going to get caught. Shara still sitting here, is going to be able to get the kill on the Kenny S. So holding on to this M4 best they can, but Envy is going to be given a little bit of chase here.
Searching, but not finding. So FlipSid down 5-0 already. WorldEdit's going to be on that AWP now, but is it too late? Do Envy have too much momentum on the T side? We will soon find out. WorldEdit is headed over towards mid. He's got a good spawn as well to look straight down into mid, and he will have Kenius waiting for him if he chooses to peek. Good flashbang coming in, so no engagement there. Kenny going for an early push towards the B bomb site. He and Apex have been heavily naded. Will Shara go for the peek here? He's setting up as if Markelov might throw a flashbang for him. Kenny is just hunting, and Kenny will find a frag. The T's are going to push through the smoke. Markelov getting 2 frags, so being traded by kioShiMa. So finally, Envy will take the site 3 versus 3.
Yeah, good job there by Markelov to get a couple of kills, even though he was blind and stuck in pool. He couldn't really get away, so he did what he could, which was 2 frags to get it into a 3-on-3. So there's some chance here FlipSid Tactics to retake, but the rotate was pretty far off, and now they're all kind of trapped behind this smoke and CT spawn, and there's still plenty of nades for Envy to use to continue to bog FlipSid Tactics down. But they do make their way into construction, and they will be setting up as the smoke dissipates at spools to try to see if they can find some headway into the site.
Yeah, kioShiMa going to get that Molotov and going to force him out of position. Blades take him down, but the clock is ticking too far. I don't think this defuse can come in unless... I think it's too late here for bondik to do it, and WorldEdit it's running away. Indeed, they did all the damage, but it's the CT side who need the economy here, not the T side. Continue their good ways. You can see kioShiMa is going to be on 16k at the beginning of this round, so no worries about staying on the site and dying for the bomb for Envy.
A decent effort from Markelov to get a couple of kills there despite the pressure that got put on, and they made the retake happen there in the end of the 3-on-3, but you know, just not enough time to get the defuse, and obviously Envy not hurting for money, as you said, so they're not worried about all the rebuying. Meanwhile, it's FlipSid Tactics who have still yet to get around, and they've had to rebuy a decent bit, and their money is quite low. That they might even, well, they should still be able to get something going next round, but it's still rough, and we are going to see Envy just going for a quick apartments hit, and that kill from NBK, that's massive.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Straight through the smoke, and Envy just running a train through the apps and now into the A side. That smoke going down towards Arch will secure some control. Let's see Kenny focusing on short now. What's missing from the previous Envy match against Virtus.pro a few days ago, where the Envy side did get run over, but now he is back in action. We're seeing the full force of Envy here against FlipSid. Again, FlipSid starting to push now. Corner of the smoke, but NBK just ready and waiting there. Taken down by WorldEdit. Kenny to take down Shara, leaving WorldEdit alone. And that AWP will disappear from his hands because of Kenny, yes.
I mean, that's just NBK working the apartments, a position he's played for a very long time. Whenever they're trying to go for heavy hits, and I mean, he just hits that really crazy kill kind of on the brink of that smoke in the balcony, and I think he winds up getting a hat trick on the round. So really just kind of capitalizing over in that pit area, and really opening up that A-bomb side for Envy. And FlipSid, they do force out what buy they can, but it is low. A couple of FAMAS's pretty low on utility as well. And Kenny S for Apex.
Well, kioShiMa is getting some work in here, and he's evened, well, he's almost evened things up here. 2 versus 3. Big trades coming in, as there is a decoy down in mid, which is just finishing off. So only WorldEdit on his own to try and hold things down there. kioShiMa's going to jump, and he's going to get slam dunked there by WorldEdit, but Happy knows his position. Can the CTs rotate in time? Happy needs to get out of the pool. He's got a smoke in CT, which is the only thing going for him at the moment, but Blade is close to the smoke, and when that plant comes in, he's going to be on top of him straight away, I'm sure. Happy moving towards construction now, because he knows this as well as we do, that he needs to thin out the numbers of these CTs here. Blade just going to dance around the site and play the advantage. Double peak coming in for the CTs, and Happy will get taken down. So FlipSid find their first round on the board, surviving with 2 players, so they're still going to have difficulties with the buy. Interestingly, oh, never mind. I thought WorldEdit had CS God on the end of his name, but it's actually a bit longer than that. So, never mind.
I mean, so basically, I mean, a TK happens, plus Shara's able to get a couple of kills, so that really kind of helped FlipSid hold things down. But Kio still made that expensive, right? He responds with a couple of kills, still forces a lot of rebuying, which means FlipSid tactics are definitely in a situation where a money reset would kill them and almost force a double save, really. So they absolutely have to make sure they come up with this round they want to avoid. Envy just jumping up to a pretty big 10-1 lead with little, you know, resistance that FlipSid would be able to put up to it. So this is kind of the big round here, if there's any hope to try to, you know, salvage something this half and close the gap on the scoreboard.
So you can see a traditional setup here. For the most part, we have Markelov playing far back for his side, but the short and long plays have been lost over towards the A site, and Kinis is going to wreck bondik, so the trade's going heavily in Envy's favour. 7-1, FlipSid looking to be reset here. 4 versus 2.
That's what special Envy's doing, just bullying their way through sites, man.
Yeah, FlipSid again, this is the pick of the Envy team, and it's looking pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, Envy just coming, you know, off of their major victory at Cluj. They've always been a very strong team, been ranked, you know, top 3 in the world for most of this year. Meanwhile, we know the troubles that FlipSid has had, right? I mean, after losing Simple, a lot of their skill seemed to really kind of leave, so to speak. They're just not quite the same team as they used to be when he was a part of the team, and you know they had a rough time at Cluj. And I mean, this is, you know, one of Envy's most comfortable maps, and FlipSid tactics are just feeling the pain of that.
Yeah, so for those of you who are mentioning lag, I've spoken to some of the other broadcasters as well, and we don't think it's something on our side. It might be a problem with Twitch, so just bear with us and hopefully we can ride it out. But on our side of things, everything is fine, so hopefully that fixes itself. Alright, so we've got a lot of movement up top mid here for Envy. Happy just keeping an eye on the bottom of mid, while Envy look for engagements. 2 M4s saved by the FlipSid team. And, ooh, that's a 2-man there. It killed kioShiMa and then killed Apex through kioShiMa's head. So 3 versus 3. And there are still 2 M4s on the FlipSid. 2 rifles on the FlipSid team.
Oh no, and that flank didn't work out from bondik. He had to jump there on Happy, but couldn't find the kill. But Blade still got a couple of nice kills at mid, and FlipSid tactics are still in this round. It's a 2-on-2. The bomb is still yet to be planted. There's still a good amount of time, and NBK going to be able to re-smoke Moto. get that plant inside the site. Happy going to be there at pit to really catch anyone trying to wrap through the Moto side, as the CTs will split up and you know, work both sides of this and get in here.
So NBK finds himself alone now, gets a frag through the corner of the smoke. WorldEdit makes himself known and runs into the crosshair of NBK, gets shot straight in the head. So 9-1 now. And for those of you who are asking about the score, you can see the score is here at the top of your screen. It is the first map, and it's obviously 0-0 based on that fact. So 9-1 for NV. And again, we saw a 12-3 side, T side here for Fnatic against Na'Vi in the earlier match, and you do wonder if we're going to see the same here against FlipSid.
Yeah, it seems a lot like it. I mean, Blade put a decent effort in on that round, and even Markelov had a nice kill on the Happy inside the pit there, but NBK just coming up with a big 1 versus 2, and it puts FlipSid right back in the pistols, and NBK again being a huge nuisance here for FlipSid Tactics in the apartments, but Blade has a good angle. He finds the Deeg and actually gets the bomb dropped, and they have good pistols pointed over here at the balcony, and WorldEdit making something of this.
Yeah, he's doing good. Happy coming in for support, 2 versus 2, but that 5-7 is close. WorldEdit only has 4 HP, however. Not enough. Again, the kills at this point don't really matter because NV have got enough money to buy and buy and buy. 10-1. You do wonder how many more rounds NV will get. We've got the AWP coming out onto WorldEdit once again. We'll have a look at his spawn. Not ideal to go for the aggressive peek in mid. So he's going to go the long way round, it seems. As if Kenny had an AWP in this round, then he would have a good chance of picking him. If Kenny had a good spawn. So Blade,
a double apartments push coming in here from FlipSid. This could get interesting.
Yeah, Blade looks like he's going to play close to Boiler. And they're just doing some cursory checks. That smoke is going to go into the arch area. Envy looking for another fast play. And which way will they go? Going towards arch for the most part. NBK pushing through the smoke to see what he can find in short. Happy will trade for him. WorldEdit is playing around the smoke, but is he going to get taken down? Indeed, he is. Apex to trade. So 4 versus 3. And FlipSid have a bit of a crossfire towards the site, but a bomb's getting planted in the site itself.
And now they're only left with 2 players. You saw them initially to try to get a counter on the Envy by pushing the apartments, where we know Envy's just been kind of storming them through, but Envy bypassing that with the wrap over at Moto. And, you know, even though they did suffer a couple of casualties, able to survive with 3 and secure the round still quite comfortably. And FlipSid Tactics, after their money being reset on the 8th round, they're kind of in that buy-save rotation. So here in this round, again, they're just going to be stuck on pistols, and it's going to give, you know, Envy, you know, the route to a 12 rounds without, you know, much that FlipSid Tactics can really do about it.
Yep, so FlipSid on another Rico, going for some aggression, closing down the map slowly but surely. Got Blade might have a quick look towards mid, but is it going to be too late? They've lost a player on Banana. Shara got the first kill, however, so Markelov is just holding a tight angle. You often see Happy holding this angle with a smoke, but there's no smoke for Markelov, and he's going to get taken down. Left in a resting position. So Apex finding the second last frag for his team. bondik versus 4. There is a gun, but he's not going to be in a position to pick it up. The spray coming in, and it's another round going the same as all the others.
Really not much to say. It's just been what Envy's been doing this entire map, just packing up, and, you know, within the first 20 or 30 seconds of the round, they're either pushing mid apartments or B, and they've found success all but once. FlipSid Tactics, you know, obviously having money issues throughout the entire game with so much losing going on, and then the reset there in the 8th round. They just haven't been able to get much going. Every now and then one of the players from FlipSid gets a couple of pistol kills and, you know, makes us think that we might see something interesting happen, but then, you know, Envy just clamped down and put a stop to it, and we're in one of the last rounds of the half, and Envy again looking for apartments, and they're finding it. Yeah,
they're just too good at this point. On this map, 3 versus 2. Again, this is a best of 3, and the next map will be Mirage, the final map being Cobble. So Envy just winning the duels, basically, just rushing and winning duels. Yep. It's like the Envy of old, but with less abuse of overpowered weapons, since they've now been nerfed. But it's still the same Envy, basically. Shows you how much skill they have.
Exactly. They've been kind of touted as the team with the most skill of any lineup all around. I know TSM rivals them a bit in that regard, and now with Dennis joining Fnatic, you could make an argument that, you know, that there might be some challenge now to who is the most skilled team in the world, but certainly Envy, very, very powerful team, and this is one of the maps they, you know, have no issues playing, and yeah, they're just wrecking FlipSid. There's really not much to say.
So lots of spray through the smoke from both sides. FlipSid trying to stop Envy from imposing their will, but at this point, this is the last round of the half, and it could all be too late. FlipSid with a man advantage for the time being. WorldEdit's heavily tagged though, and he's going to go down in the middle of mid. So we just have insane duels going on all over the map. Where will Envy choose to go?
That they are going to be gathering up over here at B. I mean, this is around. FlipSide's had a couple of different situations. They've gotten to 3-on-3s, but somehow Envy still pulls ahead. You know, they either trade evenly or at least one man better, and now they're attacking the B, and there it is. Kio puts it right back in Envy's favor by picking up Markelov.
Yeah, so bondik got a good position to do something here. There's still a lot of time before the bomb needs to get planted. But again, Happy just winning the duels, leaving Blade alone versus 2 on the wrong end of a smoke. He's only got a flashbang to push with, and Kenny's got a smoke, and he's going to indeed re-smoke CT, which is going to make life a little bit harder, as you can see there. Blade opting to walk through the smoke there, playing on the fact that more likely Envy are going to be watching the construction position. Comes in as the first frag, looking for a trade fragger now, unable to find him just yet, and he will do it in the end. So 13-2 indeed will be the same score that we had with Fnatic versus Na'Vi earlier on.
Indeed, I mean, there was several. I mean, it just seems like Envy was always able to stay at least one man ahead. You know, anytime that FlipSide looked like they had some type of opening, Envy was able to close them out, not allow them to, you know, get an advantage or get around. So it was either, you know, close rounds where FlipSide had somewhat of a chance but couldn't quite get it, or just Envy just straight up, you know, destroying them. I mean, either way, and there's really not even a player to point at. The entire Envy roster there was doing work. I mean, short of Happy, the frag distribution's quite tight there for Envy, and they just kind of had their way with FlipSide tactics, and I don't think it'll be much different going into the second half either. Yeah,
we'll have to see if FlipSide can muster the pistol. At least you can see there what the one round they got, sorry, the 2 rounds they got were very late on in the game, so they'll need the first one, that's for sure. Game should be starting fairly certain. I don't know how much talking there is to do at halftime with a score like this. kioShiMa up there for his team, although I mean the kills are fairly well spread out on the T side, and there's only so much point to looking at the CT side, because depending on your position on any map, you're going to have you may have less kills or more kills, but on the T side they're all putting in work, just winning the duels. Not many assists either on the T side, just straight up killing going on.
Yeah, again, there was nothing special about what happened in that half. It's just wherever Envy decided to attack, they just always traded more efficiently than their opponent. Just always able to stay a step ahead. They had a big half because of that, and now we have to see if FlipSide Tactics can put up something on their terrorist side. Obviously, the pistol is just the first step on a long list of things that FlipSide needs to do if they have any hope of crawling back into this game. You see huge aggression from Envy over here at B.
Yeah, and that's a good idea, because there's a lot of people going towards A for the team, and now they're going to have a rotation. Started with 4 people over towards the B bomb site, maybe smelling some desperation on FlipSide and expecting something big to happen. Happy's just waiting for the one shots. You can see, how did he avoid that flashbang? That was epic.
That was his teammate.
Yeah, must have come in from his teammate. And he's only going to get 1 frag, however. So the bomb is down, though, on short. bondik coming in to try and kill the pit player. There is a man advantage for the T's at the moment. Now it's just down to NBK to finish off all these T's. Going to manage to reload, but he's not going to get bondik, who will shoot him in the head. So FlipSide have an opportunity.
Yeah, what started out as a pretty cool little pot flash that allowed Happy a first kill there inside the apartments, turned into bondik, being able to kind of tear through with 3 frags and open up that A bomb site. So FlipSide, they do secure themselves one of the, their only rounds of the entire game here, and it comes at, the perfect time, getting a pistol to at least keep them alive in this map a bit longer. We'll see them upgrade to some SMGs, and Envy, though, they're going to force up. They're going to get the armor out, the upgraded pistols. Playing pretty standard, everyone playing in the spots that you normally expect them to be. No real surprises, just, default setup here. And FlipSide starting off nice and slow, just, getting their eyes out across the map and slowly working themselves into just, their own type of default.
So Envy is still playing aggressively top mid. Looks like they're going to go for a double peek here. Or what are they doing? Maybe there's a flash coming in. No. I think they may be anticipating a flash. And you can see Kenny just asking some questions, and they'll start to move away. But they haven't really got that much information. Maybe they think it's so quiet that it must be a B play. Well, maybe it is. Blade gets the opening frag, pushing towards construction at the moment. Happy's going to go down as well. And you can see the rotation from the T starting to move towards that B bomb site.
Yeah, and I mean, Blade's done a great job to draw all the rotations here, and instead of attacking A, because of that rotate, we are going to see FlipSid just decide to gather up here with Blade and hit B. Apex and KennyS has rotated, and Kenny is already able to pick up a kill onto Blade that slows down the bomb plant, but WorldEdit will trade. Now he'll be able to safely get the bomb down. Keo and Apex will still try to make this retake work, but bondik doing a great job to shut that down over at Construction, and it seems like FlipSid will avoid any second-round shenanigans here from Envy.
Indeed, they will. The kioShiMa is lurking around the pillar, playing the unexpected spot, but the spray and pray will come in after all from Shara. So another round on the board for FlipSid. We can expect to see an eco from Envy here, just some P250s being bought here and there. And other than that, the buy will come in on the next round. So again, a team notorious for winning their force buys. Couldn't win that one, however. We'll see if they can win this eco.
I mean, that was just Blade. Good effort there, getting both entries into the B-bomb site, really setting his team up for success, and they're able to close out the round. We do see a little bit of a stat going on here from EnVyUS. They have 3 players in the area. Fourth has already begun to rotate in over at NBK, and they're going to use this with the flash just to push out and see if they can find something, but all they'll meet is WorldEdit's Ump, and Ump says they're out.
Yeah, looking for a potential flank, but there isn't one yet. Happy's just trying to keep quiet over towards the A site as FlipSid have not committed to B just yet. Again, 5 players surviving so far for the T side. They don't need to commit to anything. Envy players will get wiped out, but no, they'll be on the buy.
And this is where it gets tough for FlipSid tactics now. You're going to have, you know, M4s across the board here from Envy. There is no op on KennyS, so that is, you know, I guess one thing that helps them out a bit, but he's still a very, you know, capable rifler. And this is going to be their first true test to see what they can come up against. Now, Envy's utility is pretty low. So that means they can't just keep smokes and mollies and stuff on B all day long and force some type of late, you know, B round hit where they have a disadvantage. And they even have not so much to work with when it comes to retakes. Just a couple of initial smokes to block mid and stuff. So that will help FlipSid out a lot, that they don't have as much utility to battle against.
So 3 over towards A for Envy. Again, a standard setup. But KennyS is playing rotation spot. Kind of into spawn, kind of in the arch area should the other sites need any help. So the usual spots being checked here, and Shara's going to find one of them. 4 versus 3 though, so still advantage Envy at this moment. The spray will come in from Apex, and he will reset the situation after being heavily tagged. I think coming in onto Markelov, but he's going to get the MP7 frag onto KennyS.
Still holding the pit though, that double lane side attack, and Happy's within the rotate as well. Then to the side, he is going to find the kill onto Markelov, leaving bondik all alone in a really tough 1 versus 3.
Yeah, you can see bondik now just changing his position. He's still got a lot of time to play with here. Needs to try and get himself a 1 versus 1 though. Up against 3 players, you can see the YP coming in. Speed fostered again, so everything starts again now for him in terms of information. We have NBK running away, all the way into B. So what is the play over bondik here? Well, it's not going to matter. Happy, ready and waiting here on Arch to take him down.
Really tough to deal with that double lane setup. You know, you got the balcony pit type play. Even if you're able to find one of those guys holding that key position, Apex just drops down to take a spot and just continues to hold off. So despite the low utility, it wasn't necessary. Just winning some key duels, not even really allowing FlipSid to get outside the apartments until bondik was left alone in a 1 versus 3. So just well defended on the A side there from Envy, and the first test that FlipSid really had to pass, they're not able to do so. They're still able to get a purchase here. And Envy did have to do a good bit of rebuying, so at least Keo with just a shotgun, but they have plenty of utility this time around, and Keo can still put that shotgun to use in this particular position especially.
Yep, so position Happy was holding earlier, but very different weaponry. You've got the initial nades coming in towards the B-bomb site in case somebody's behind a car, in case somebody's behind sandbags, etc. You can see, in fact, Happy is in the sneaky corner, and guess what? Next to a smoke, as per usual. Again, a lack of information here on the B-bomb site from the team. Just a bit of information from KennyS or Arch, but not a whole lot.
Not like Envy's seeing anything that tells them a whole lot. Sure, they spotted one in apartments. That doesn't really mean anything. That's just, you know, them getting control of that. But you do see them backing up with the bomb towards B. Blade and bondik are keeping people in place over on the A side. Blade even trying to slip and get into Arch and get into CT, which he's able to do. But KennyS has picked up on it. He's rotated from library and he's been able to catch Blade. So no B split coming in. It'll just be the main and banana attack trying to battle Happy and NBK.
versus 4 now. That shotgun's still in play here. And the B-bomb site's being taken control of by the CT side. kioShiMa's coming in to do what he can before his teammates can make it there. They are quite far away, actually. So, and that's going to be that. The order has come out to save, and the remaining 2 CTs will go and try and find a place to hide on this map, which should not be hard 2 versus 3.
Right, and I mean, you know, despite the fact that kioShiMa was able to cut off Blade and kind of put a hold on any type of split, still some great entry work there from Shara and WorldEdit to, you know, limit Happy and NBK to no frags, actually. Weren't able to put up any kind of hold there. And so FlipSide Tactics, despite losing the opening gun round of the half, so to speak, they're able to come right back and win a pretty clean one. You know, only losing 2 players in the process. You know, still plenty of money. Meanwhile, Envy, their money has been reset. So they will be on a couple of save guns and some forced pistols. Would normally indicate that the T team would have a little bit better of a time, but we know how good Envy can be on these 4 situations like this. James, are you with us?
And my mic was muted.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense.
4 plays over towards the A bomb site. You can see NBK holding down Banana. And FlipSide just setting up, looking for a pick again. You saw kioShiMa was legged earlier. And he's still alive in the pit though, can still be a nuisance, will make it hard for the short push to come in. So that kill is going to make NBK move back to the site, and it's possible for the wrap to come in actually. You can see Shara moving into CT spawn with the bomb, but there's no one moving back down Banana for FlipSide.
And NBK getting caught out here, trying to see if he can pick up any frags, but not going to be the case. And with that, FlipSide will storm through CT spawn and get the bomb down. They're going to avoid this little stack that Envy had inside the A bomb site and pit and secure the round with ease. And I'll put 7 on the board here for FlipSide. So they're starting to make a match of this, right? They haven't only dropped but 1 round here in the second half thanks to that 3-0 start with the pistol and being able to reset Envy's economy with the last round win. So there's a little bit of something going on here for FlipSide Tactics, but again, they are going to be tested quite soon by Envy on another full buy. They've even yet to have to worry about kioShiMa having an op. So these are still some things they're going to have to take care of if they want to really make a run at this.
I remember the Undertaker used to have a finishing move called "Taking Care of Business." Such a biker name. But anyway, Envy still surviving with 3 players, but can they hold on? Happy going for the peak, and he's going to go down. kioShiMa only has a P250, but obviously he's got his Kevlar and helmet, and he's just going to watch his friends burn as he hides behind the truck. So Envy unable to hold on to things, but they still have double the score of FlipSide for the time being, so they're not going to be too concerned. They know they only need 2 rounds in a row. Looking at the T economy, the focus can't be to break the FlipSide economy now. It's a bigger focus for the CT economy than the T economy on a map like this, where you really need that utility to hold as much as possible. 4-man stack on the B bomb site here from Envy, and they'll just have Happy over towards A, holding this angle with a Banana.
We are going to see the rotation coming in from CT spawn already, however, so 3 members will be here before this hit sets in to have 4 in the area, and NBK beginning to press down Banana has been spotted by Blade, but he gets the kill, and so that's going to help Envy out positioning-wise. It may even cause FlipSide to be a bit concerned about wanting to hit A at this point, which they haven't committed the bomb, and WorldEdit has found a pick onto Apex there with the op, but he has no indication where anyone else is at just yet, so this is kind of a tense moment for FlipSide. The WorldEdit's helping it out by just finding these op picks repeatedly.
Yeah, that was a very nice swipe by him. So Envy just about damage now, although the bomb's actually down, so it's not just about damage, the bomb's being lost. NBK with too many deagle shots. Happy has been lurking all this time, now coming out from his little cove, and is causing problems. WorldEdit versus 2. This is a mess for FlipSide. They have to get themselves out of this because they can't afford to lose this round. You can see NBK just standing on a plant pot, holding an angle with an AK, happy with an AK of his own in the site itself. 9 seconds, and WorldEdit he knows Happy's around here somewhere, looking for him. Doesn't get the connection, and Envy move to game points in the first game of this best of 3.
That's pretty much all NBK with the Eagle, right? Just getting those 3 kills at Banana. I'm sure Happy's quick to tell him, hey man, why don't you try getting 5 next time before you talk to me? But it didn't matter for that round, right? As NBK absolutely shutting it down, despite the fact that there wasn't much to work with. He's able to pop off some key headshots and just absolutely crush FlipSide. And now we're in what could be the last round of the game. FlipSide's still able to get a good purchase going for the most part. But, I mean, with Envy so close to victory, and they're going to have 8 attempts to shut this out in regulation, very hard to see FlipSide Tactics being able to win 8 in a row based on what we've seen so far in this game.
Indeed, and that win has rejuvenated the inventory of the Envy players. You can see that walk back onto Kenya. Lots of nades as well. Almost full defuse kits, so they have many tools to be used to try and take themselves over the line. And again, the onus is all on FlipSide here to try and get through these choke points. Minutes on the clock for them to do so. So we'll try and identify what the players they have. Markelov just keeping an eye on things towards A, but the focus seems to be the B bomb site here.
I do see them gathering up over there, looking for a boost on the log, see if they can catch anybody playing behind triple, but NBK and Happy not in that position, playing a crossfire right there on the choke point. And we do see that NBK still has an incendiary. I'm happy with a Molotov as well, so they can even force a lot of damage to be taken by FlipSide as they try to make this late round B hit.
Yep, so you can see all the nades coming in. Blade is on fire and he's blind. He has no idea where he is. Just about making it out alive. And it's he who will get the spray down onto NBK actually, but he's going to get traded by the CT. So 3 on 3 as Envy come in for the retake. They've got Kenyas coming in, but he's to construction, but he won't get the angle in time to stop the bomb plant from going down, but he will stop WorldEdit from picking up an angle first. Gets a leg onto bondik, a very nice snap by him, but not the kill. Markelov remains now versus kioShiMa, and he's going to get the 6 HP headshot clutch to keep his team just about in the game here.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. It got a little bit scary there with Envy still having a Molotov and incendiary with 30 seconds left on the round, and the fact that one of them landed behind the smoke and they couldn't even really see the damage they were taking. It was looking rough, and Happy hiding, able to get a couple of kills, but NBK went down with none, and you know, despite the heroics of Kenny S with the out there getting a couple of cool shots, he didn't find the kill, just a leg, and therefore FlipSide were able to secure it and force Envy right back onto save, resetting their money again. Which, again, you know, I don't think this time Envy will have to double save. They should get enough money in the next round to force up something if they so choose. But NBK with this Deagle, FlipSide need to be concerned because that really shut them down a couple of rounds ago, and it looks like it's doing it again, but not quite WorldEdit. It's not going to let them get away with it this time.
There are 3 more Deagles on the map, however, one of which is over towards B, and that's going to be Happy with one of his fabled Deagles. You can see it's called Team Solo Rec there. I'm sure you all know what that's about. But for the time being, FlipSide are moving towards A. We've got 3 people towards top mid and apps. 2 CTs, 1 close on short and 1 in pit. And the good thing about this is that if the T's were to come up short, kioShiMa is basically the first engagement, but it's more or less a double peek here from the CT. So very nicely lined up, but it's going to be long, and kioShiMa's almost getting taken down in isolation. That Molotov might be a problem. He will go down regardless though. Apex now going to be traded, so 3 versus 2. Both CTs out of position. This should be good for FlipSide. Yeah,
Kenny S is looking to save this Galil, in fact, in the head armor and the CZ, so he's not going to try to put any pressure on at all. Just look for exits, and greatly traded there by FlipSide. Could have been tough dealing with that double pit, but able to get out of apartments there and make a good trade, and they secure another round, so they will put it up to 9, and Envy, you know, money is low. So there is some hope here for FlipSide to maybe find another round or 2 before this thing's all said and done.
There goes the Galil. Just happy with his Kevlar to be saved. Well, that it has the right angle, so everyone will fall for Envy again. See the money they have. If they go for the buy here, they're going to be lacking the nades, and they are indeed going to go for the buy. I guess they can scrim on the. They can avoid the helmets and buy more nades than they otherwise would have had. Kenyas has enough money for the AWP as well, so let's see if he has a good spawn. It looks like he might do. Indeed he does. Oh, is he going second mid? Oh, he is. And there are 3 players to find, but no connections made. Gets naded, which is going to make him get jammed in the doorway. Fortunately, there was nobody looking upper to spray him down, and he's going to get the hell out of dodge.
It's not to play a little bit safer now that he took so much damage, but he can still hold angles here. Still try to see if he can get anything, so he's still, you know, going to be fully capable of posing a threat in this round, as you see pretty much standard setup here from Envy. Nothing too crazy going on, as, you know, flip side, that slow methodical style they're kind of known for, just slowly trying to grab control where they can. See a couple setting up, maybe trying to get Apartment's Blade, you know, just making sure there's nothing going on at Sandbags and Car, and the bomb on WorldEdit. bondik even working under the tunnel, so it seems like they are going to be gathering up for some type of B hit based on how we're seeing them set up, and Happy has already rotated, so NBK is alone here. He does have a smoke and an incendiary, so he can maybe try to hold them off a bit, but that rotate's still far away. No one's even beginning to cheat over for Envy just yet.
Yeah, they are committing to the site. Happy trying to get back as soon as he can, but I don't think he's going to get back in time. NBK gets one down, and now he can try and just stay alive for as long as possible, bro. He's got to be careful about being naded or just simply overwhelmed. There is a Molotov onto one of these players, and here it comes. NBK stuck in a corner, but he's going to go down on his sword here, taking down Shara with him. So 3 versus 3 as the CT swarm the sites. Looking for the retake. There is a smoke coming back. Nice snap by WorldEdit onto kioShiMa in the banana area. bondik can play with the shadows with that angle, but he's looking away now. There aren't enough players to cover these angles. So, indeed, you see him go for the pre-fire, but he's going to miss completely. Traded by Markelov, and Kenny's going to save the AWP for another day, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, NBK put up the best effort you really could in that situation. He's, you know, all alone. The rotate's far off. He still is able to find a couple of kills, so good effort by him. But, you know, WorldEdit and Markelov combining to hold off the rest of that retake from Envy. You know, not allowing Kenny S to find anything with the op. You know, limiting Apex just to one frag he found at Spools, and we are going to see a 9th round come here in favor of FlipSid Tactics, and so a game that looked like it was about to be a landslide, you know, FlipSid Tactics is within 5 of putting in overtime, so definitely making something out of this in the end. So that's good news.
All right, so Envy with the Deagles coming out again, and FlipSid continue to climb back into this game, starting to look competitive now if they can keep this up. Obviously, the loss bonus of Envy starting to build once again after winning a few rounds here and there. Only need one more to take it over the line. Kenny kind of missed a shot there. Blade baiting to get some information.
Kenny getting aggressive with the op at Banana, not going to find anything, but not going to take any damage either. Backing up here, he's going to have to be kind of the playmaker unless some of these Deagles are going to come out again, which we did see NBK earlier in the game have one round just like that, but now it'll be Apex who gets challenged.
Indeed, and again you have that double peak situation where Apex comes up from close, and he could have done a lot of damage there. It's going to be a team kill onto bondik, but it did the job, because if he didn't take down Apex there, who knows how many frags he gets with those meat shots with that Deagle. 4 versus 3 though, Envy with the man advantage now. Kenny S, he sees a bit of torso, the flash comes in, but Markelov will go down anyway, so FlipSid in trouble now, 4 versus 2. Only thing going for them is that 3 of these players don't have any armor whatsoever, so they will be easy kills if they can get their crosshair in the right place. So the trades come in, and now it's WorldEdit to try and save it for his team. Not going to be able to do so. Envy take the first map 16-10.
Yeah, big round there from Apex. I mean, not only does he get the 1 kill he get, but he kind of forces that team kill. All that it was, you know, really wanting to trade him. His teammate ran in front of him when he tried to go for it with the op, and so that basically causes a second kill that Apex was a part of. Plus, he had an assist there at the end for kioShiMa to end the round. So, despite the fact that Envy were stuck just on pistols and such, they were able to make it work there in the end, thanks to a good play from Apex, and they take it, you know, 16-10. A little bit of a closer game than we thought based on how the first half went, I suppose, but nonetheless, Envy took care of business and got the victory, as I think we all expected.
The next map will be Mirage. As soon as we are ready to resume the game, we'll be back into the action, but for now it will be a break, so stay tuned guys, and we'll see you back here shortly.